People watching is not just a modern preoccupation. With apologies to Walter Benjamin and the flaneurs wandering the streets of Paris, it was a major attraction too in traditional China. The markets, the temple fairs, and festivals were not just about buying or selling or praying. People attended also to see and maybe be seen by their contemporaries. And this is the world that Zhang Dai, a scholar of the Ming Dynasty who died 340 years ago, is about to bring us into. There's a festival for watching the moon on West Lake, a famous scenic spot near the southern city of Hangzhou, glorious as much today as it was back then. You have to imagine all the people crowded there to enjoy the event, boating, I guess yachting in modern terms, with the best craft they can afford, or maybe just on the teeming shore. But are they really there to watch the moon? This is Zhang Dai describing it in his own words. There is nothing to watch at the Moon Festival on West Lake save the people watching the Moon Festival. There are 5 classes of people to watching the Moon Festival. The first kind, storied pleasure boats, orchestra playing, high hats and grand banquets, actors and servants, a blaze of lanterns. In the riot of light and sound, they pretend to watch the moon, but actually do not see the moon. These one watches. The second kind, also pleasure boats, also storied. Society belles and high-born ladies, pretty page boys in tow, laughs and squeals at intervals. Seated in a circle on the poop deck, looking left and peering right, they are physically under the moon, but do not watch the moon. These one watches. And we're looking here at a contemporary 2024 cruise boat on West Lake that reminds me of these 2 types. It is indeed storied multiply with that ridiculous dragon built in front, and you could buy a ticket to enjoy the lake this way if you like. But back to our author. The third kind, also on boats and also with music and song, famous singing girls and unattached priests, sipping wine and crooning songs. Subdued flutes and gentle strings, voices and instruments as one, also in the moonlight. They both watch the moon and want people to watch them watching the moon. These one watches. The fourth kind, boatless and carriageless, coatless and hatless, well gorged and well grogged, hallooing to their mates in 3s and 4s, barging through the crowd, congregating around the Zhaoqing Temple and Broken Bridge, making an unearthly din, pretending to be drunk, and singing tuneless songs. They watch the moon, they watch those watching the moon, and also those not watching the moon, but actually they watch nothing. These one watches. The fifth kind, small boats, net curtains, clean tables and hot stoves, tea quickly boiled, white china cups quietly passed, good friends and fine females invited to enjoy the moon together, either seeking concealment under the trees or escaping the noise in the inner lake. They watch the moon, but do not strike a pose of watching the moon and make no matter of watching the moon. These one watches. And then here, Zhang gives us a description of people kind of showing up for the outing and returning from it. Hangzhou people normally go boating on the lake from late morning to early evening. They avoid the moon like poison. But this evening, their reputation is at stake. There is a veritable battle to get out of town. Having generously tipped the soldiers at the city gates, their bearers light the way with burning brands, and they queue up at the jetties for a boat. Once embarked, they press the boatmen to make full speed to Broken Bridge, where the most action is. So, by about 9 o'clock, the place is a bedlam of voices and music, a boil and a quake, nightmare ravings and delirious babblings, bellows of the deaf and mouthings of the dumb. As the big boats and small boats pull into the bank, they see absolutely nothing except pole striking pole, boat butting boat, shoulder rubbing shoulder, face staring into face. Very soon enthusiasm wanes, the banquets of the officials break up, and their lictors clear away for the cavalcades to return. The chair-bearers call out to the people on the boats, threatening them with city gates closed in their face if they delay, and then they depart pell-mell, their lanterns and torches like stars strung out across the sky. The people on the shore also join the crowd making for the city gate. The masses thin and very quickly are gone altogether. And it's only here, when the crowds have departed, that Zhang Dai allows himself to join into the story. Only then do we steer our boat to the shore. The steps of Broken Bridge are now cold. We spread out our mats, toast our friends, and drink freely. Now the moon is like a polished mirror. The hills have freshened their makeup. The face of the lake is cleansed again. Those who previously sipped their wine and crooned their songs emerge. Those who sought shelter under the trees also emerge. We advance and make their acquaintance and draw them into our circle. Joined by these gentlemen of taste and chanteuses of repute, we sit down to our refreshments, and voice and flute make music together. We do not break up until the moon turns pale and chill and the sky whitens in the east. Then our little party casts off, and we fall asleep surrounded by acres of water lilies, lapped by waves of heady scent, and content to dream our untroubled dreams. Zhang Dai wrote this not during the years of his gilded youth when he actually experienced it, but a lifetime later, probably when over 50. In the interim, he had lived through a cataclysm, the fall of the Ming dynasty and the brutal Qing conquest that had driven him to a frugal life in the mountains. He is, in this final sense, a watcher yet again, this time of himself, across all those years back to a time when there were untroubled dreams.